Hi, in this video, we'll be learning how to code a bouncing ball simulation using physics. Although we're assuming you know some of the basics of JavaScript programming, we'll do a quick review to get you up to speed. Some of the topics we'll be reviewing include the canvas, functions, and variables. One of the big questions we'll be answering in this lesson is, how can we draw objects on the screen in JavaScript? Let's review the canvas. Images displayed on a computer screen are made up of tiny squares called pixels. You can think of the entire screen as a big piece of graph paper, with the squares being very small. Although the positive x direction on the computer screen goes from left to right, the positive y direction goes from top to bottom. In JavaScript, we'll be drawing to a graphics area in the web browser called the canvas. It works the same way as the larger computer screen, only it's smaller and has less pixels. Always remember that the y-axis is positive in the downward direction. Let's review functions. A function is like a command that also gives us back or returns a value to wherever we call or execute it in our code. You call or execute a function by typing its name followed by parentheses. We can get the width of the canvas in pixels using the getWidth function. And we can get the height of the canvas using the getHeight function. Let's review variables. Variables are symbols that can be used to store the results of our calculations or function calls so that we can use them later on in our program. From the previous example, the width and height were variables. We used the keyword var to tell the computer that we want to create a new variable. Let's review constants. We'll be representing the ball in our simulation as a circle. When it comes to drawing a circle on our canvas, we'll want to define a few constants. A constant is like a variable that doesn't change. They're usually named using only capital letters and underscores. Now that we've reviewed some basic concepts, let's get to the coding part. In this example, we'll be drawing a basic ball on the screen, as you can see here. Our ball will have a radius of 25 pixels and a starting height 3/4 of the way to the top of the screen. First off, every one of our programs should have a descriptive comment at the top, and every one of our programs will contain a start function. But more on this later. For now, we'll start off by defining the radius of our ball as a constant. Constants are usually defined at the very top of the program, so we'll put them up there. Next, we'll define the starting height of the ball in pixels from the bottom of the canvas. For now, our ball will start 3/4 of the way up from the bottom of the canvas. Finally, we'll create a variable to reference our circle object. Let's call the variable ball. We'll be writing the code to create the ball inside of the function start section of our program. This is where our program begins running when we press the run button. We create the ball by using the new circle function. The value inside of the parentheses is also known as an argument, and this function requires the radius we want to draw the circle as its argument. We'll then set the ball's position using the setPosition function. This function takes 2 arguments. The first argument is the x position, which will make the center of the canvas by dividing its width by 2. The second argument is the y position. We'll base the y position on the constant we defined at the top. The ball's location is measured from its center point, but since we want the starting height to be based on the bottom edge of the ball, we'll also need to add the ball's radius to this calculation. Finally, we'll add the ball to the canvas using the add function. When all is said and done and we run our program, we should see a beautiful ball near the top of our canvas. Now it's your turn. Check out the example to see how this all fits together.